What up, YouTube? It's me, Isaac, coming to you with another edition of my life. So today was a really good day for me because my mom had the day off. That was really cool, and she took she we went out, ran a couple of errands, and then went to the mall to go get lunch/dinner because what I got was enough for lunch and dinner. I got one of those Charlie's Philadelphia cheesesteaks, which is it's really one of my favorite places to get cheesesteaks whenever I get out, which it was really good and tasty. If you know me, you know I love Philly cheesesteaks, and so that's what I got for lunch. And one of the errands we had to run was taking my Switch in to get repaired, which really sucks because I've had to. When my Switch first, uh, when my Switch first had stick drift, I thought only Nintendo would be able to fix it. I did not know I did not know you could take it into local shops to get it fixed, which now that I know that, I feel a heck of a lot better with that, with knowing that, because, yeah. So the problem with my Switch Lite this time was actually the problem with my Switch Lite every time, and that is freaking stick drift. Although they don't call it's on lights. They're just on Switch lights. They're just called uh thumbsticks. They're not called Joy-Cons, which is really stupid. But I digress on that. So yeah, we went to the mall. We took my Switch into a local electronics store that I've never heard of until I was calling around to see if places fix switches, so I didn't have to send it in to Nintendo. If you know why, you know why. I will not say why, because, well, if you know, you know. The electronics store that I took my Switch into is called Electech. If you are in the area and you're looking to get a console or controller repaired, I would, and let's say GameStop doesn't repair that console or system, I highly suggest Electech, even though my mom was the only one that ran in. Let's just say it is. When I called them to find out how much it would be to get my Switch Lite fixed, they said it was only $40, which is awesome. If you know why I decided to call around now that I said how much it cost at Electech, you can take a guess at why I didn't send it into Nintendo again. Because here's the thing. Every time I send it into Nintendo, it comes back in almost the exact same condition as when I sent it into Nintendo. So I've sent it into Nintendo probably, I'd say, I don't know, 3 or 4 times at X amount. I will not say how much they charged, but let's just say I'm glad that I found a local spot to take my consoles in if I have to. Might have them take a look at my PS4. Might have them take a look at my PS4 and GameCube if I ever need those looked at. But I'm not even sure if they work on GameCubes because my mom was the only one that went in. So yeah, today was really a good day. I've had a blast today. Hopefully my Switch gets, hopefully it doesn't take as long as it did sending it into Nintendo. Hopefully it's just a couple of days turnaround. They said they'd call me when it was done, so that'll be cool when it's done. And yeah, I'm here. Let me see if I can find my elf on the shelf. Actually, I know right where it is. Give me a minute while I grab it, because this is a really cool thing. Well, actually, everybody knows about Elf on the Shelf, but I've never shown you guys mine. Come on, where are you? There you are. Come on. So y'all know how, so y'all have met my cat's, Biscuit and Gravy. At least I call the cat Gravy. But my dad doesn't. So I've had my Elf on the Shelf for, God, I don't know how long. But I got it when my great grandma passed away, which I really, really miss her. And he doesn't really have a name because I've never actually thought about naming him. But since my dad won't let me name the cat Gravy, I think I'm just going to call the elf Gravy. Which seems funny because I do love biscuits and gravy. Man, that I should ask Mom to make that for breakfast if she wasn't working tomorrow, but I digress. So, the backstory of my elf, actually, the backstory of how I got my elf is, well, like I said, I got him when my great-grandma passed away, and that was, I don't remember how long ago, but he's not one of those elves on the shelves that messes with stuff. He actually he doesn't mess with my stuff, although sometimes my mom puts him in places where I don't notice. Like tonight, she put him on my pillow, which is kind of funny. But yeah, I actually did. So my right eye is not the best. As you can tell, it's kind of droopy because of several factors I will not get into. Let's just say, long story short, something happened and now my right eye droops. I will not go into specifics of that, but you can tell how it doesn't line up with my left eye. And so I was crawling into my room after mom had to put my water into my CPAP machine, and Mom took the elf off my shelf, quite literally, because I normally keep it really close to me so it can just, like I said, mine doesn't do pranks, thank God. But my mom decided to move him over onto my pillow, which was quite odd. Although, I guess they are kind of mischief. But he's not as mischievous as other elves on the shelf, which, thank God for that. Because I'm just glad he's not mischievous. But yeah, I really do love this thing. I've had it for years, and it's, like I said, it was my great grandma's, and I'm taking really good care of it. That's why he doesn't have, that's why it doesn't look like he's been messed with, because I usually just keep him up on my shelf so he can watch over my books and stuff. Luckily, he hasn't scratched my book covers or whatever the elves on the shelves would do to books. But yeah, I'm your host, Isaac Brummett. Please like, subscribe, share with your friends, leave a comment. Peace out, y'all. Have a good one. I know I sure as hell will. And yeah, this has been a really good day. I'm glad I got a lot of stuff done. Peace out, y'all. Have a good one. I know I sure as hell will. Peace out, y'all.